Hello and welcome back to KGAWI Catch-Up. We are talking about Girl Meets Hollyworld. They were sick for ages, so I've talked about this a little bit, but they're going to talk about it more. I'm going to bounce ideas off of them. Caitlin, I was going to say your full name. That would have been bad.
I was waiting
in
a weird pose because I thought you were going to do the thing that we agreed that we were doing.
I completely forgot about that. Okay, 3.
I had my eyes closed like this. I was waiting to come out of it.
We're going to use all this, so come on. 3, 2, 1. Say what? Totally forgot that I said I was going to do that. Caitlin's too good for Say What.
Listen,
I didn't like Say What.
You were doing
Why didn't you like Say What? I think you need to examine your priorities.
And I will say, Say What to me was the washover thing.
Oh, to me, first of all, I really like his delivery of it, to be totally honest. And second of all, it's to me, it's like one of those things where they know it's so stupid. Like, I believe that they actually know it's terrible. And so, like, that makes
He
it
was
work.
laughing when he was doing it.
Alright, so what do you think of the episode?
Say what?
I mean,
Did he do this, or am I just doing this?
You're just doing it.
This is just my thing now?
You're just doing that.
Do I have a
Say what?
catchphrase? Like, can I?
No.
No, it's to go away. Keith,
Anyways. I mean, I thought it was...
he's going away. Caitlin, what did you think of the episode?
This is not my fault.
Keith, please stop. Can you not? Can you just?
Oh, my knee. Say what?
Okay, anyways, I thought it was a fun episode. There was definitely... There was honestly parts where I laughed. I don't even know what my standards are for Girl Meets World anymore, though.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, what a great time to see
be
that
alive.
status that I posted
Oh yeah,
like
so tell
4 years ago. Should I bring it up?
I mean, you don't have to read it, but just the idea of she found a Facebook status from years ago when we were just hearing about the show.
That there was like whispers and rumors that Girl Meets World was gonna happen, and I shared it. And I tagged Keith and I was like, "What do you think?" And we were super pessimistic about it.
Well, the best thing is, like, you like said something, and then it was great. You were reading this thing to me, like, while I was in the kitchen, and it was this big, long paragraph that was exactly what you would expect that I would say.
4 years later.
And it's everything that I just knew about it already.
And I weirdly didn't think Mr. Feeney was going to be in the show at all. That was...
I mean, he barely is. But...
Yeah. Keith wanted him to be the teacher. He didn't think it was going to be any good without him as the teacher.
We'll tweet a screenshot of that later. That'd be funny.
We'll have to blur out
So,
our names.
basically what you're saying is...
I just, like... It was
lost hope.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, but honestly,
Help me,
it's
Obi-Wan
like...
Kenobi. You're our only hope.
But honestly...
Honestly,
though.
I don't know. Where are we, Girl Meets World? Where are we?
I mean, to me, I am surprised that you guys feel this way, because to me, this is, like, very clearly way lower than the other ones.
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Like, especially, like, comparing it to Girl Meets World of Yonder Past.
Yeah.
It's, like...
Well, I mean, we watched Her Monster and then this. I feel like there's a huge...
Oh, no.
No,
it is not a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining my psyche at this point.
Yeah.
It's just like, it becomes something else.
It's like there were some silly things that I laughed at because I like Sabrina and Rowan together.
Yeah.
And they do well. But at this point, I just, like, I'm losing a lot of hope for Girl Meets World. And I mean, for the actors' sake, I hope they get a season 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all
I mean, as the thing is, at this
point... And I
point...
hope they get, like, a good ending because... I hope they get the series finale that season 2 earned them.
Well, that's the thing. My feeling is if they get a season... This is obviously going off track
or
a little
series
bit.
finale.
But if they get a season 4,
yeah.
like, I no longer really have hope that they will redeem a season 3. I think we get another season 3, which, I mean, honestly, like, I've had fun watching season 3. There have been funny moments.
Yeah.
There have been things to, like, that are interesting
But it's not
to
a
talk
serious
about.
show.
Honestly, like, I don't even necessarily hate the show.
I don't even necessarily hate
But
the show.
let me finish. It'll make more sense. But season 3 is kind of just... I'm just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like, there's not... Like, I don't have a lot I'm looking forward to anymore.
It's a sick animal.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. We basically... We're almost confirmed that the show is over. And at this point, I just kind of want to know how it's going to end, because these episodes leading up to the end are just, like,
There's
filler.
lots of filler.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, The beginning half of the intro sequence, I actually really liked. I liked that playful dynamic, and I really liked the back
They
and
stole
forth.
a lady.
I liked the back and forth where they would have these like 10-second scenes where they would go to Topanga on the couch and be like, "So you never lost a case ever?"
I did think that back and
That's
forth,
over.
that was a good device.
That was a
Yeah.
smart back and forth.
Yeah.
But I think that overall, a lot of the scenes in this episode were very isolated from any other thing that happened.
Yeah.
And it just didn't, it felt very jumpy. I think the jumpiness worked in that context of the back and forth on the couch. But I just think that there was something mashed together.
Yeah.
It wasn't meta.
For me, personally, my favorite stuff in this episode is the guys. I think the guys were fun. The stuff with the guest stars, I just thought was really, really low par.
I did not like the director.
Yeah, the
person
director I
who's supposed
thought
to be Sarah's
was
dad.
really blah. He's
Yeah.
just another Girl Meets World character, like the politician, like the principal, like Two Shoes Louie, where it's just like this, like these fake people that and the thing is like. They felt like they were trying to satirize Hollywood or whatever through this director.
They just are Hollywood.
Yeah, but the thing is that he's so unbelievably cliche that there's nothing smart or
there's nothing to say anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing
nothing
subversive about what they're saying. There's nothing new.
It just is the thing.
And it doesn't feel like you actually think that Hollywood's like this because he's a cartoon character. And I mean, my biggest issue with this episode is what the episode could have been, which I know maybe I shouldn't criticize an episode for what it could have been.
No,
but,
you have to.
But this is an episode.
Because here's the thing: if they give us something that is like a high, and then they give us the lows, it's like, well, how did you even get to this high? How were you even capable of doing this? If you give us these lows and you think, well, this is good enough to put out for millions of people, they're gonna like this.
Yeah.
Because we'll give them anything at this point.
Well, but the thing is, if it's supposed to be the spiritual successor to Eric Hollywood, which is kind of how it was pitched in social media, and the fact that Mackenzie Yeager, who I usually love, was writing the episode, and she was like...
And you believe promotional
information. And so... and I honestly think that they think of it as a spiritual successor to Eric Hollywood. Like, not necessarily like we're redoing it, but like a similar, the same idea of like we're doing a show with a character.
It's supposed to be a thematic repetition.
And the thing is, so the great thing about Eric Hollywood is that it was a show that was able to look at itself and say, we're not perfect. We're gonna laugh at ourselves a little bit. And on this show, there is so much gold to mine there. How many things could you do about the Augie and Ava plot lines? How many jokes could you make about the triangle? Like, well, you could have even had, like, the actor who plays Farkle be like, my God, I can't believe Farkle's doing this crazy stuff again. It seems really, like, not good for a boy to be doing. This doesn't seem like good lesson. Like, there's so many little things that you could have been like, okay, look, guys, we made mistakes. We know it. Yeah. We're going to be humble about it, and we're going to have fun while we're doing it.
Yeah. I said a little bit ago that this episode wasn't meta, and what I mean by that is there were certain moments which you could technically classify as meta, like the Zay coming, but put me down is only
semi-regular.
Semi-regular.
I'll come in whenever I want.
Yeah.
And so those are like moments, but overall, what it wanted to do, or maybe it didn't want to, but what it promised to want to do is to be this satirical meta moment where it takes everything and puts it in this sub-universe space where it's happening in canon but also out of canon. The problem is everything in this episode was in canon, and if Katie is getting this role, we're either, in typical Girl Meets World fashion, either not going to hear anything about it again, or we're going to get a weird one-liner about it and not see, like, Sean and Katie are married. Yeah. We get like a one-liner about it, but where is Sean? Yeah. And why not even explain it?
And how is that impacting Maya's life?
Lucas and Riley are dating. We'll get a one-liner about it, but it's
how
not
is that
happening.
Impacting Maya's life?
And so... yes. Well, it gets in the way of certain things. But, I just think, so these are the things that, either going to drop it totally, or it only comes back as a shadow, And so when you have these things where it's not truly out of canon in the way that it becomes a satire, truly meta experience, you just have another Girl Meets World episode with a arbitrary plot.
Well, there's what I would say is this episode has Easter eggs. It has references, like the fact, like one of the things Lucas says when he's talking
but
about,
not more than any other.
Yeah,
episode.
well, that's the thing is that this show did so much more than Boy Meets World ever did. But like, there's things like Lucas mentions the name Tristan, which is what the character's name was originally supposed to be.
Right.
Like that's to me that's not
Tristan
meta.
was supposed to be Lucas.
Yeah,
or
Lucas was supposed to be Tristan.
God.
Yeah, so like that's like a
No
fun.
offense to any
It's like
Tristans.
to me that's like an inside joke. That's not like talking about the show in a self-referential like things that are like, even the semi-regular thing. Like I think that's fun, but that's like it's like a fun inside
behind
joke.
the scenes
behind the scenes
instead
stuff.
of actually
Yeah,
the show.
and I
And there were things to dive into there, like it opens with Maya trying to help her mom by kidnapping this lady. Well, Maya never really seemed to approve of Katie trying to become an actress.
Yeah.
She didn't really want her to go for it because it got in the way and it was kind of embarrassing. Like when we saw her Maya's mom.
Well, yeah.
Now but she's doing this 180.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see them actually have any kind of moment.
I mean, the other thing that part of why I didn't like the opening is that, so I knew ahead of time that they were gonna kidnap an actress, but they start off at 11. If they had built up, if they had been little jokes here and there, and then near the middle or the second third of the episode, Maya got to the craziness level of I'm going to kidnap her now. Then you have built up the comedy and you've gotten from a normalcy to this heightened place and you earned it instead of starting with I kidnapped someone. And then
they could have started with oh, I know she's in town. Oh, I found her hotel room. Oh, I'm trying to do weird things poison her room service.
Normally,
and then eventually she's like, this isn't working. Let's take her.
Yeah.
Let's take her.
Normally I would be on that page, but I think me coming in. Damn, just was electrocuted. Me coming in, not really knowing anything about the actual plot of this, I enjoyed it because it just was a fun character dynamic, and then we do have the whole thing where it talks about when they get too big, and they actually do say that and it gets too big, and then she's jumping on the bed, right?
Yeah.
And so that was interesting, but not great.
That was actually in Her Monster, by the way.
Oh, so I'm completely mixed up.
Yeah.
Never mind. So
This is what happens when you watch
her
3
monster
episodes
was
in a row.
more meta than the meta episode.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
And so, never mind that. But I do think that when you have this weird thing where these characters are so awkward, it's a particular brand of humor that I think that it actually is a great thing to just kind of get in the middle of, because it's so awkward and weird. You just have to be oh.
Yeah, I just
it's just cringy enough. I don't know.
To me, it's like what you were saying about World of Terror 3, where it's now I know we're starting the episode right off the bat, and it's everyone's Eric season 7. The whole episode is Eric season 7, and
But at this point, I mean, Riley has been so crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
but that's what they're do. He is a weird person. That's different than we kidnapped someone. And also, it was Maya that did it.
Eric and Corey kidnapped people, right?
I don't think so. I don't remember them.
Sean was kidnapped.
When was that?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
by the girl.
Valentine's Day.
I could have sworn they kidnapped someone.
I mean,
Someone fact check me.
yeah, maybe. I don't know, but
I'm lazy.
the other thing. So I will say, it's not like the episode wasn't meta at all. I did like little things like Farkle referencing all the ways the characters changed so quickly, and also referencing how now he's he's geek chic and hipster pretty boy. I think that was good, but that was one little thing, and they always have little things like that. So I agree. It doesn't feel more meta than usual.
Watching these 3 back to back,
Yeah.
it's weird, especially
None of them
because
were great episodes. That's the
I
problem.
think Her Monster.
I do think Her Monster was something. I don't think it was.
Her Monster
perfect.
was a good episode. That was a solid episode. That's kind of what I want out of a regular
Yeah.
episode, but it wasn't a great episode.
Let's not get into
That's
it
my
yet.
problem.
Watch that other video that
Yes.
is chronologically after this recording, but takes place in the chronologically other episode order and airing order. Oh, okay.
Okay, what were you saying?
That's a great question.
Something about meta and
Watching these 2 episodes back to back, it really shows that if this was trying to be a meta episode, it wasn't really much more meta than, especially with the Halloween one.
Yeah.
There was so much in there too that I think that
They always try to be a little meta.
Yeah.
I mean
In all their episodes.
this one and the Halloween episode were basically
On
the
par.
same episode.
Well, they're very similar. I will say that something I referenced in the podcast is that I think that what did this episode better than this episode was the opening to New World, which is they're sitting in the bay window and they're like, oh, we can't babysit Augie again. You can't do something twice. Things can happen twice.
Yeah.
And then like Farkle's like, I have 2 tickets to 2 different things. And like, oh, we've already dealt with this. Like things like that where they're referencing things from the past and making fun of them and commenting on them.
Right.
That's what I wanted this entire episode to be about. You know, like
that would have been the true legacy of the Eric Hollywood.
Yeah,
episode.
like I mean, imagine so like the whole thing of the Eric Hollywood episode is they're doing scenes, you know, the actors playing these characters, and if you had people be like, oh my god, the triangle's still happening. Why would anyone believe that my character became her? Like, you know, like there's so much gold to mine.
What who was the Pearl Harbor girl?
Missy.
What if they're just
the
like
Pearl Harbor?
Well, you knew who I was talking about.
Yeah, I was sort of like.
Maybe they're just like, we need to have the triangle. Luke should just be with Missy from now on. You know what? People like this Raya thing.
The other thing that they could have
But give them a different ship name.
You know what else they could have easily done is make fun of the writers. You know how there was the whole joke about the new writers and
they were kids.
And
they should have done with Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. They could have made fun of Twitter. They could have made fun of shipping. They could have had like the executive producer be
someone pitched an idea and someone gets a ping on their phone and they're like, never mind, they don't like that.
Yeah, that would have been good. I like that. Yeah. So there's just a lot that could have happened that didn't, and I really didn't like Bobby Joe or whatever her name was. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's like Attached Sisters.
All right. Do we have anything else? Or do we want?
No, we're getting more negative as it goes on.
Yeah. Well, now we're gonna go to her
this was
monster.
the negative episode.
Yeah. Okay. This was the negative episode.
That's true.
All right, guys.
Bye.
So please follow us on Twitter at KGAWI Podcast. Please subscribe to our channel if you still like us, which makes no sense. And email us, gmwpodcast@gmail.com.
The duck says please.